Well, people around the world are having fewer children. And here in the United States, the White House is trying to do something to resolve the baby bust. President Trump has dubbed himself the fertilization president, and he's proposing incentives to encourage a baby boom. Tara Mergener reports.
As America's birth rate drops to historic lows,
happy birthday to you.
Some families are doubling down.
One of our biggest concerns is that we're going to see a cultural mass extinction.
Malcolm and Simone Collins are part of a growing movement encouraging society and the White House to support family life to tackle the problem.
It's not like our society is one in which we really need to force people into having kids. In fact, we think that's a really bad idea. We only want wanted children in this world. But right now, we do many things to actively make it harder to be a parent, even if you really want to be.
CDC data shows the number of babies born in the U.S. hit a 45-year low in 2023, with only a few states above replacement level.
I think that's just a great tragedy because for most of us, kind of nothing lends our lives more meaning and purpose, absent, say, faith, for instance, than the opportunity of kind of being both a spouse and a parent.
Beyond missing out on family life, the overall impact could threaten the country and world's future.
People have had in mind since the 1960s this misguided worry about overpopulation.
Experts warn today's mindset about parenting carries broader consequences, like fewer workers, lower tax revenue, and an aging population with not enough younger people to support them.
If you haven't invested in friendship and family, you're going to be in a bad spot in the last chapter or two of your life.
Prominent voices are sounding the alarm.
The birth rate is very low in almost every country. And so unless that changes, civilization will disappear.
The White House is now exploring ways to encourage Americans to have more children, with President Trump dubbing himself the fertilization president.
And we will support baby bonuses for a new baby boom. How does that sound? That sounds pretty good. I want a baby boom.
A $5,000 payment to new mothers is one of the ideas under consideration, along with a $1,000 tax-free investment account to each newborn child in the U.S. Others include Fulbright scholarships for married or parenting applicants and federal funding for fertility awareness education.
This movement tends to actually transcend so many different groups. It incorporates your Silicon Valley tech bros. It incorporates many pro-life religious conservatives, but it also ties into a sort of crunchy con liberal or even libertarian who's really interested in these holistic health root cause approaches to fertility and overall vitality.
Simone has even floated awarding a national medal for motherhood for those with 6 or more children.
We need to show that we support and celebrate people who make these sacrifices.
And President Trump is pledging to lower the cost of IVF to make family growth more accessible. So what's behind America's baby bust? For many, it's not a lack of desire, but a lack of support. The cost of living is high, childcare is more expensive, and family dynamics have changed.
We've all heard the old adage, it takes a village to raise a child, and we don't live in those villages anymore.
Data also shows women starting families later in life, greater access to contraception, and other choices taking priority.
So please, is the loss of sleep, is the loss of identity, giving up your body, is it worth it?
Declining faith may also play a role. Research shows religious Americans are more likely to have children, while the non-religious, a group that's doubled to 29% since 2007, tend to delay or forego parenthood altogether. Not everyone, though, agrees it's the government's role to intervene.
Clearly, they don't know how women's bodies work, and they don't know what it costs.
The desire to become a parent is not universal, even though we may all, most of us, may have the capacity to become biological parents.
Even among baby boom supporters, there's a debate over how to encourage more people to become parents.
We should be also thinking about how do we make the marital bond, the foundation of any effort to kind of address this fertility challenge that now faces us.
It's no secret what moms are demanding. So we chose paid leave, affordable childcare, and improved maternal health outcomes.
For many families, it's about the math.
$1,000. That's how much parents of just one little boy or girl are paying for diapers per year.
By some estimates, it now costs more than $300,000 to raise a child through high school.
Like if the financial is what you're struggling with, here's a way that we can provide a boost and really encourage you on that path.
The most important part when it comes to addressing falling birth rates isn't necessarily to incentivize having kids. And that's not exactly what the administration is looking at. The biggest thing is, how do we take a foot off the neck of parents who want to have kids or more kids?
Whether solutions to reverse the nation's low birth rate is through culture shifts or policy, it's clear many women aren't asking for a push and would prefer a helping hand. In Washington, Tara Mergener, CBN News.
I think that's the secret. How do we have a helping hand? I've been saying for now decades on this program, I want a culture that encourages motherhood, that says thank you, and recognizes there's an obvious sacrifice here, and you're putting the next generation first. You're putting it over your own life, your own body, your sleep. All of these things are involved. How do we encourage motherhood? It seems like we're trying to climb out of this, choice culture, which I actually think is celebrating death. Let's celebrate abortion. Why don't we celebrate motherhood instead? To say thank you, and thank you for the hope that you have within you, the hope for all of our futures, because children are the future. If we're not producing children, then we're not producing a future. Now, should this be enforced? Absolutely not. Should there be incentive? Maybe. But I think the biggest thing is an encouragement and to let mothers know if you're running into trouble, we're here for you. And we want to help you see it through because it's absolutely important for all of us that mothers are encouraged and are helped. And whatever they need, whether it's diapers or vitamins or whatever, how do we make it easy to be a mother in America today? I just left the Philippines. They don't have this problem. And I was with multi-generational families, and it was wonderful, the celebration of life. I had no idea what it was like to be a grandfather until I held my granddaughter and then my grandson in my arms. The generational fulfillment of that was absolutely incredible. There is a divine mandate here, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We need to make sure we're generationally passing legacy in the future of our culture. Now, to be a grandfather means that you have to be in a stable marriage for a very long period of time. To be a father means you have to have a commitment to provide and to be there and to be there no matter what. To be a mother means that you're sacrificing yourself. You're allowing another life to be born into your body. All of these things should be celebrated because all of them are our future.